Hello everyone. Hi, this is Alok Ojha. Welcome to StudyIQ IAS English. As you can see on the background, today we are going to discuss one of the most important battle, which is referred as Battle of Plassey, which took place in 1757. A very simple example I'll give you about one thing. Like it is said that Britishers have drained more than 4.94 million pounds from India after Battle of Plassey. So what is Battle of Plassey all about? Today we are going to explore this in this short video. My friends, we are going through the classroom series of modern Indian history. Time and again, I have repeated one thing. Like many of the aspirants have a question, sir, we have already covered modern Indian history. Yes, modern Indian history has been covered as a part of YouTube. But this is what I am trying to explain, that how I cover the things in the paid classes. First thing. Secondly, here I am trying to cover things in quite depth and detail. Previously, what I have covered was a part of the basics. Here I am going in more depth. Like by now, as a part of classroom series, we have covered different topics, such as we have covered the Portuguese, the Dutch East India Company, English East India Company, French East India Company. Apart from French East India Company, struggle for supremacy and important Carnatic wars, where we have tried to understand things in a very step-by-step, gradual and systematic manner. So today's video won't be much lengthier. It is just 20 to 25 minutes video, but it is very important. And again, I will be explaining things in a very systematic format for easier understanding of the concept. Okay? Like as I've told you, like the first Anglo-Carnatic War, second Anglo-Carnatic War or Anglo-French War, and the third Anglo-French War. You had to listen to me patiently. Why? Because there were many characters. Similarly, here also, we have to understand here the role of every character. How did Mir Jafar come to power? How did English East India Company made Mir Jafar as a puppet in their hands? How was Siraj-ud-Dawla being replaced? Okay, so try and understand things in a very systematic format for easier understanding of the concept. You can download the PDF or PPT of this session from the Telegram channel history_Alok Ojha. I repeat the channel history_Alok Ojha. So now let's focus on the Battle of Plassey. Specifically speaking, it is said that the Mughal Empire have been divided into different provinces. We have seen this as a part of medieval Indian history series, that these provinces were referred as Suba. And Subas were further divided into different districts, referred specifically as Sarkar. So Suba were being headed by different Subedars. From the time of Akbar itself, there were different Subas. And precisely from the time of Shah Jahan, whose era is also referred as Golden Age of Architecture, it is said that Bengal had become one of the richest Suba. In the coming years, it is said that around 1651, Shah Shuja, he was being appointed as the governor of Bengal, and he allowed English East India Company to trade in the region of Bengal by giving them the region of Bengal at 3,000 rupees per annum. So very simple words, English East India Company had acquired permission from the Mughals to trade in the region of Bengal by giving 3,000 rupees per annum to the Mughals. With the passage of time, Aurangzeb came to power. Alamgir Aurangzeb's maternal uncle was Shaista Khan. And now Shaista Khan, he became the governor of Bengal. And when Shaista Khan, he became the governor of Bengal, it is said that he had given the permission to the English East India Company to acquire the zamindari of three important villages. That is Govindpur, Sultanuti and Kalikata at 1200 rupees. So English East India Company acquired the zamindari of these three important villages. And major role here was being played by an English agent whose name was Job Charnock. Okay. So with the passage of time, it is said that English East India Company started having a strong hold over the region of Bengal. It is said that 60% of the trade of English East India Company, 60 to 65% of the trade took place from the region of Bengal. But after Aurangzeb, the Mughal Empire started declining, and there were many autonomous states as well. These were also referred as successor states. One of the finest example that we had seen in the previous lecture, Nizam of Hyderabad. So the Mughals' power started weakening after the death of Aurangzeb. I will repeat. Specifically, from the time of Shah Jahan, Mughal Empire was divided into different provinces referred as Subas. One such Suba was Bengal, considered as one of the richest Suba. And at that time, Shah Shuja gave the permission to English East India Company to trade in the region of Bengal by paying them 3,000 rupees per annum. Then Shaista Khan, maternal uncle of Aurangzeb, he gave the zamindari rights of three important villages, Govindpur, Sutanuti and Kalikata, to English East India Company at 1,200 rupees. And major role here was being played by a company's agent referred as Job Charnock. Clear? Now, after Aurangzeb, the power of Mughals started declining, and the successors were not that competent enough. They were weak successors. Now, let's explore about this. Like specifically, as I've told you, like after Aurangzeb, the Mughal Empire, there were many who started declaring their independence. Nizam of Hyderabad. So they were referred as successor states or autonomous states. So Aurangzeb, he was being succeeded by Bahadur Shah I. Bahadur Shah I was being succeeded by Farooq Siyar, and Farooq Siyar was being succeeded by Muhammad Shah Rangila. Okay. Now Farooq Siyar, he had appointed Murshid Quli Khan as the governor of Bengal. So in very simple words, Farooq Siyar, although he was the ruler, but the entire management or the entire administration of the region was region of the Bengal was being taken care by whom? Murshid Quli Khan. With the passage of time, Murshid Quli Khan started accruing more power and influence. He became so influential in the region of Bengal that after the death of after specifically during the time of Muhammad Shah Rangila, what happened? Murshid Quli Khan started asserting his independence. Like specifically, he declared himself as independent. And in that case, he declared himself as the Nawab of Bengal. Clear till here? I'll repeat. Aurangzeb, he was being succeeded by Bahadur Shah I. He was being succeeded by Farooq Siyar. Farooq Siyar was being succeeded by Muhammad Shah Rangila. Now, Farooq Siyar had appointed Murshid Quli Khan as the governor of Bengal. But from the time of Muhammad Shah Rangila, Murshid Quli Khan's power and influence started increasing by leaps and bounds. And he started asserting his independent authority. Murshid Quli Khan, he declared himself as independent and Nawab of Bengal. Okay. Now let's understand about this. Murshid Quli Khan, he had shifted the capital of Bengal after becoming Nawab from the region of Dhaka to Murshidabad. Now, river Hooghly, it played a very important role from the perspective of trade. Okay. Like on the banks of river Hooghly, different cities were being established. And trade was being taking place in these cities. Like English East India Company carried on their trade from the region of Calcutta. French East India Company carried on their trade from the region of Chandranagar. And from the region of Chinsura, Dutch East India Company established their factory and carried on their trade. Now, English East India Company had vicinity towards the sea. So, any ship that was coming to the region or the factory of French East India Company or Dutch East India Company, what happened? All these ships had to go through the region of Calcutta. All the ships. So, English East India Company had a good command or sway over the Hooghly River now. But this was not liked by Murshid Quli Khan. Okay. Now let's understand things in a step-by-step manner. I am going gradually, my friends, for easier understanding of the concept. Okay. Now, as I've told you, Murshid Quli Khan, he had asserted his independence. He had declared himself as independent, and specifically, he had become the Nawab of Bengal. Now, Murshid Quli Khan was being succeeded by Shujauddin Khan. Who was Shujauddin Khan? Shujauddin Khan was son-in-law of Murshid Quli Khan. Shujauddin Khan was being succeeded by Sarfaraz Khan. Who was Sarfaraz Khan? He was son of Murshid Quli Khan, but he was not that competent enough. So, Sarfaraz Khan had a military commander whose name was Ali Vardi Khan. Okay, Ali Vardi Khan, it is said that he killed his own master Sarfaraz Khan and he declared himself as the Nawab of Bengal. Please do not get confused, as I have told you again, many characters are here. And you have to listen to me patiently for easier understanding the role of every character. Okay? Did you understand how Murshid Quli Khan became the Nawab of Bengal? Murshid Quli Khan, his power and influence started increasing, especially from the time of Muhammad Shah Rangila. Declared himself as independent, and what we say, he became the Nawab of Bengal. Murshid Quli Khan was succeeded as a Nawab by his son-in-law, whose name was Shujauddin Khan. He was succeeded as Nawab of Bengal by son of Murshid Quli Khan, whose name was Sarfaraz Khan, but he was not that competent. So he was being killed by his own military commander, whose name was Ali Vardi Khan. And Ali Vardi Khan became the new Nawab of Bengal. Okay? Now, Ali Vardi Khan, he was an intelligent personality. Now, what happened? At that time, English East India Company, they feared the attack from the Marathas, and Marathas collected a tax called as Chauth. So Ali Vardi Khan had already given Chauth to the Marathas, and he had given the region of Odisha to Marathas. Now, English East India Company had constructed a factory here, and now they had a plan to fortify this region. Why they wanted to fortify this region? Because Marathas can attack any time. So this fortification move by whom? English East India Company was not at all liked by Ali Vardi Khan. He did not want the English East India Company to fortify, because Ali Vardi Khan knew one thing. What? These people are very diplomatic. Ali Vardi Khan knew about what had happened in Anglo-French War and the Carnatic region. English East India Company had established a very strong hold in the Carnatic region, which is located between Bay of Bengal and Eastern Ghats, by ousting the French East India Company. And probably with the passage of time, they will do the same in the region of Bengal. So Ali Vardi Khan, he did not specifically like this move of whom? He did not like the move of English East India Company that they are going to fortify. But the problem here was, or the main question here was, his age was advancing. He has grown older by now, and he did not had any successor. Okay, he did not had a single successor. He had 3 daughters. So what happened now? In fact, what happened? Ali Vardi Khan, he had a military commander whose name was Mir Zafar. Mir Zafar, he had a very different game that was going on in his mind. What did he thought? Ali Vardi Khan, he does not have any successor. He has all the daughters. And in that case, when he will die, I will become the Nawab of Bengal. This was the plan, or this was a thought in the mind of whom? His military commander, Mir Zafar. But his plan did not work well. Why? There was a reason behind this. Like it is said that Ali Vardi Khan, it is said that his elder daughter had a son whose name was Shaukat Jung. And his younger daughter had a name as Siraj-ud-Dawla. And both were contender to the throne. Okay. I repeat, Ali Vardi Khan did not had any sons. He had all the three daughters. He had a military commander named as Mir Jafar who was aspiring to become the Nawab after the death of whom? After precisely the death of specifically Ali Vardi Khan. Now Ali Vardi Khan, it is believed that, his elder daughter's son was Shaukat Jung. His younger daughter's son was specifically Siraj-ud-Dawla. He chose Siraj-ud-Dawla as his successor. Obviously, when Siraj-ud-Dawla is being chosen as a successor, this will hurt the intentions of whom? Shaukat Jung and Mir Jafar both. So Shaukat Jung, Gasti Beg, Mir Jafar, all of them formed alliance against Siraj-ud-Dawla, but they could not replace him. Okay? In that case, it is said that Shaukat Jung was being defeated and later on he was being killed. Mir Jafar, he apologized for his mistake and Mir Jafar was now made the military commander of Siraj-ud-Dawla as well. So Mir Jafar initially was military commander of Ali Vardi Khan. And now he is again the military commander of whom? Siraj-ud-Dawla. Did you understand the concept, guys? Yes, please. Because it's a very important one. Ali Vardi Khan's military commander, Mir Jafar. Okay, I'm repeating again within next 30 seconds. Ali Vardi Khan's military commander, Mir Jafar. Ali Vardi Khan did not had any son. So Mir Jafar aspired for the throne of the Bengal. But Ali Vardi Khan's elder daughter had a son named as Shaukat Jung. Younger daughter had a son named as Siraj-ud-Dawla. And both aspired for the throne. So specifically, Ali Vardi Khan chose Siraj-ud-Dawla as his successor. So Shaukat Jung, Gasti Beg and Mir Jafar formed an alliance against Siraj-ud-Dawla. Siraj-ud-Dawla defeated all of them. Shaukat Jung was being killed. Mir Jafar apologized for the mistakes that he had conducted and finally it is said that he became the military commander of Siraj-ud-Dawla. Okay. Now, what happened? Siraj-ud-Dawla, when he came to power, he specifically, he asked what? All the factories, like all the European powers to shut down and dismantle their factories. Dutch East India Company, English East India Company, French East India Company. Dismantle your factories and fortification. To which Dutch East India Company and French East India Company accepted. English East India Company did not accept. And in 1756, it is said that Siraj-ud-Dawla attacked the Fort William. The attack was so brutal that it is said that many Europeans fled from the Fort William. Okay. Many of them, just hold on. Many of them fled from the Fort William. And it is believed that after they fled from the region of Fort William, President Robert Drake, I'll give you a small example. President Robert Drake, he fled to an island called as Fulta Islands. So what happened? There were 146 members left in the Fort William. And these 146 members chose Holwell as the new governor. And when Holwell was chosen as the new governor, what happened? Specifically, immediately again an attack was being conducted. By whom? Siraj-ud-Dawla. It is said that approximately 146 members were being taken into captivation or confined within an 18 square foot room in the month of June. And this event is referred as Black Hole Tragedy. Immediately reinforcements were being called from the Madras presidency under Robert Clive and Admiral Watson. And here specifically it is said that Treaty of Alinagar finally was being signed. Okay, and the Treaty of Alinagar was being signed between Robert Clive and Siraj-ud-Dawla. As per the treaty, one person would be staying in Siraj ud Daula's court, and the person who was chosen was William Watts. What was the basic reason for keeping William Watts in the court of Siraj? Because they wanted to know that anybody who can betray this person, we will create an alliance with that person. So Mir Jafar, who was a military commander, was ready to betray his master, Siraj ud Daula. So it is said that, specifically, they formed an alliance. Mir Jafar formed an alliance with whom? Specifically, there were many others. Like, I'll give you a very small example about this. Jagat Seth, Amichand, Rai Durlabh formed an alliance with Mir Jafar. And finally, it is said that, specifically, this person, Siraj ud Daula, he was being betrayed by all of them. And when they were betrayed, it is said that, like, specifically, battle was fought, which is called as Battle of Plassey. Although the forces of this person, what we say Siraj ud Daula, outnumbered the forces of Robert Clive, but still he was being defeated because he was being betrayed by one of his military commander, Mir Jafar. And this historic event is referred as Battle of Plassey. And after this, Mir Jafar was being made as the governor of Bengal, Nawab of Bengal. And he gave the 24 Parganas region to English East India Company. This was followed by the drain of wealth. This is nothing but Battle of Plassey, an historic event in India's freedom struggle. Hope the point is clear, my friends. Okay. Specifically, target year 2026 UPSC IAS English last batch. The last day is 24th of September as a part of Navratri special offer. So it's a Navratri Mahotsav sale. The batches are available in English, Hindi and precisely in English, which will cater to the needs of the aspirants from South India and northeastern part of India. History, geography, polity, economy, everything would be taught corely in English language. And the prices are starting at a very affordable rates, 9,999. Okay? And what needs to be done? Use the code Alok Live. I repeat, use the code Alok Live to get the benefits of the batches, and the code is flashing on your screen. Hope you understood in today's short video about Battle of Plassey. Okay guys, the sale is ending on 24th of September 2025. Code Alok Live flashing on your screen. With this, I'll stop my words for the day. See you guys. Thank you and have a wonderful day. Bye-bye.